news. My name is Irebami Salako. We begin with headlines. Liberia seeks collaboration with Nigeria on measures to combat effects of climate change ravaging many countries of the world. Plus on the news, Joint Admission and Matriculation Board (JAMB) announces new registration date for 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination (UTME). From the international scene, a Russian oil refinery in southern Volgograd region catches fire after being hit by debris from a Ukrainian drone attack. Details of these and more coming your way soon. Do stay with us. Many thanks for joining us at this time. Now details of the news. President Bola Tinubu has appointed Abba Bubakar Aliyu as the substantive managing director of the Rural Electrification Agency (REA). Bayo Ononuga, special advisor to the President Information and Strategy, in a statement said the appointment, effective from January 23, 2025, is for an initial term of 4 years. Aliyu has been acting as the agency's managing director since energy and organizational development in the private and public sectors. He has played key leadership roles in the on-grid and off-grid power sectors, as well as the water resources and transportation sectors of Nigeria's economy. Previously, he was head of Project Management Unit at the Nigeria Electrification Project, General Manager of Corporate Services, Projects and Research, and Deputy General Manager at the Nigeria Bulk Electricity Trading PLC, NBET. Ononuga said President Tinubu anticipates that Aliyu will leverage his extensive expertise to further the REA's mission of providing rural communities with reliable electric power and contributing to the administration's renewed hope agenda on sustainable energy and power. Parliamentarians and environmentalists from the Republic of Liberia have sought collaboration with Nigeria on measures to combat effects of climate change ravaging many countries of the world. For the collaboration, Honorable Ernest Mansia Sr. led the Liberian delegation in separate sessions with the Senate and House of Representatives Committee on Ecology and Climate Change at the National Assembly. Honorable Mansia Sr., in his remarks at the collaborative session with the Senate Committee on Ecology and Climate Change, chaired by Senator Siriaka Dixon Bayelsa West, said Nigeria, being a country that is far ahead of others across the globe on mitigation against climate change, is seen as a place to visit and learn. Earlier in their separate remarks, the chairman of the committee, Senator Dixon, said climate change is a major challenge requiring all African countries to put up thinking caps for required ways to rising up to the challenge.
As you may be aware, like you just noted, Nigeria is far ahead when it comes to climate activities, in fact around the globe, or if we may say in the sub-region. That we've come to share to learn from you how easy was it or how difficult was it in driving your climate policy. And as we listen to some of the technicians, even from the presentation for
Now to other stories. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board (JAMB) has announced a new registration date for the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination (UTME). Registration will not commence on Monday, February 3, 2025, instead of the initial scheduled Friday, January 31, 2025. In a statement by JAMB's Public Communication Advisor, Dr. Fabian Benjamin, the change was necessary to allow the board to implement crucial adjustments to its registration process. These adjustments follow the recent suspension of certain law programs at selected universities, as reported by the Council for Legal Education. Additionally, JAMB discovered that some computer-based test CBT centers had obtained approval through deceptive means, necessitating further scrutiny and the disqualification of such centers. JAMB acknowledged the inconvenience these adjustments may cause candidates and other stakeholders and sincerely apologizes for any disruption. It added that the extra time will be used to finalize these changes and ensure a smooth and transparent registration process. The Federal Ministry of Works has expressed dissatisfaction with the handling of Enugu-Onitsha Expressway construction by RCC Limited, which is funded by MTN under the Road Infrastructure Development and Refurbishment Investment Tax Credit Scheme. A delegation from Anambra and Enugu caucus of the 10th National Assembly, led by Senate Minority Whip Osita Ongo, visited the Minister of Works David Umahi to seek federal intervention. Correspondent Kulehujo reports that it was resolved that the ministry would formally request MTN to commit to. During the meeting, Umahi assured the Southeast region of President Bola Tinubu's commitment to improving transportation infrastructure nationwide. Senator Ongo praised the scale of road construction under the administration, but raised concerns about inadequate funding for critical projects like the Enugu-Onitsha Expressway.
At the end of the meeting, the tax credit has not been terminated. I am hoping that MTN will go back, look into that, we can understand the principle behind the tax credit and come back with positive results. If they are not able to do that, we will support any decision the ministry takes. That is the position of the National Assembly. Finally, Honorable Minister, we made a request when I made my opening remark.
Still on legislative matters, the Deputy Speaker of House of Representatives, Honorable Benjamin Kalu, has emphasized that any decision on abolishing the death penalty in Nigeria must reflect the will of the people. Speaking during a meeting with officials from the British High Commission and the Death Penalty Project, Kalu acknowledged the growing global shift away from capital punishment, noting that over 130 countries have abolished it. He pointed out that Nigeria's legal system still enforces the death penalty for crimes such as murder, armed robbery and treason, but emphasized the need for discussions on potential reforms.
We'll embrace these global best practices at the moment, beyond the dictates of our various religions. As you know, Nigeria is a secular state, but one thing that runs equally between the major two religions is one principle they call an eye for an eye.
While no bill has been introduced in the House, Kalu revealed that the Constitution Review Committee, which he chairs, is examining the issue. He assured that any proposed changes would undergo public hearing to gather input from Nigerians.
From Nigerians that we represent, we will align our legal framework with regards to this subject matter with international best practices, and I hope Nigerians will see it, because law that we make should be dynamic, carrying along the wishes of the people as they emerge.
Leaders of the Death Penalty Project urged collaboration with Nigerian Parliament to explore possible legal reforms. They cited Zimbabwe's recent decision to abolish the death penalty as an example of progress in Africa.
Once you abolish death sentence, the maximum sentence that is left is life sentence without possibility of parole and pardon. And you can be stated there below.
Four soldiers from Young Barrack in the Morocco area of Shomolu, Lagos are feared dead, while several others sustained injuries after being hit by a suspected drunk driver. The incident happened early Friday morning during the soldiers' routine monthly road jog outside the barracks. An eyewitness who resides in the area recounted how the speeding Toyota vehicles occupied by three young men rammed into the soldiers. Following the accident, the occupants attempted to flee but were caught, beaten, and had their vehicles vandalized. One of them was reportedly stabbed. The incident has sparked panic among residents. As of the time of this report, the Deputy Director of Army Public Relations 81st Division and the Lagos State Police Commissioner Benjamin Hundeyin were yet to respond to queries on the development. You're still on to the news on Galaxy TV. Coming up next. Police Service Commission (PSC) directs immediate retirement of all senior police officers who have either served beyond 35 years or exceeded the age of 60. Details of that and more coming after the break. Do stay with us. We are glad to have you back. Now, for more updates and latest news, please visit our website www.galaxytvonline.com. Connect with us on our X handle at Galaxy TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Galaxy TV News. You can follow and interact with us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Galaxy TV. Remember to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at Galaxy TV. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your live updates. Now to the story teased earlier. Police Service Commission (PSC) has directed the immediate retirement of all senior police officers who have either served beyond 35 years or exceeded the age of 60. This decision was reached during the Commission's first extraordinary meeting, where it reaffirmed the enforcement of the Public Service Rule, which mandates retirement upon reaching either milestone. In a statement issued by Ikechukwu Ani, Head of Press and Public Relations, and made available to a correspondent in Abuja, the Commission noted that during its 24th plenary meeting held on September 27 to 28, 2017, it had approved that the service duration of force entrants be calculated from their date of appointment rather than enlistment. However, upon review, the Commission determined that this approach contradicted the principle of service measure in the public sector and violated the established public service rules. The Commission, at its first extraordinary meeting of the 6th Management Board held on Friday, January 31, 2025, resolved to enforce the retirement of officers who have surpassed 35 years in service or are over 60 years old. Operatives of the Federal Capital Territory Police Command have arrested 31 suspects, with 16 already charged to court for their involvement in vandalism and other theft of public infrastructure. Not only that, the command has also recovered stolen assets worth over 1 billion naira in its fight against vandalism and theft of public infrastructure. Correspondent Golojo reports that the FCT Commissioner of Police, Diso Olatunji, while parading the suspects in Abuja on Friday, stated that the operation was part of Operation Sweep, a multi-agency task force launched on the directive of the FCT Minister, Nyesom Wike, to tackle the rising cases of infrastructure vandalism.
This comprehensive operation represents a decisive move towards eliminating vandalism.
Abuja Environmental Protection Agency (NDLEA) and Abuja Development Control targeted the legal scrap market known as Pantakers Market, where stolen government properties are sold.
January 16, we had raid on Day building material markets, and we recovered a large number of manhole sewage covers with inscription on it, "Not for sale." January 17, raid on Iyanya Pantika. Items recovered include cut-to-size electric transformer, 3 generators, and 3 motorcycles.
Still on security, timely information and effective collaboration from citizens has been described as a veritable tool in combating crimes. Oyo State Police Commissioner CP Shonubi made this known at the commissioning of a police station donated by the host community. Galaxy News correspondent Shegun Falomo tells us more in this report.
The Oyo State Commissioner of Police, Mr. Ayodele Shonubi, has reiterated the importance of public collaboration with the police in tackling security challenges. Shonubi reaffirmed this in Ibadan while inaugurating a reconstructed police station at Maku, Egbeda local government area of the state, which has been upgraded to an area command. The CP, represented by ACP Hussein Ekanem, reiterated that security of lives and property remain a collective responsibility of all and sundry. According to Shonubi, an effective collaboration between security agencies and the general public will enhance the government's effort towards providing adequate security.
If we satisfy you, please tell us. If we don't do well, tell us. Feedback mechanism, tell us. Don't rush to go to the press and start telling or go on social media, start castigating. Tell us. We are amenable to correction. We are human beings. When we do well, you tell us. When we do badly, you tell us. So I want to assure the community that the policemen we are going to post there is going to be headed by the area command's office.
Meanwhile, the council chairman, Honorable Sikiru Sonda, explained that his administration decided to take up the reconstruction of the project because of the priority it attached to security issues. Sonda recalled the project was initiated and launched 12 years ago by the Central Landlord Association to boost the area's security. He appealed to the residents of the area to furnish security officers with necessary information to perform optimally.
About 12 years ago, there was a gruesome murder of a 300-level student living in this area by the autists. It really touched our heart. Community now took it up. Láti rí pé tí nǹkan báyìí bá ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ládùúgbò, what do we do? They started that, okay, the security of this area is somehow porous. That is what brought the initiative of these police stations.
The day's highlights is the distribution of 8 motorcycles purchased by the local government to representatives of security agencies in the area. From Maku, Egbeda local government in Ibadan, Shegun Falomo reporting for Galaxy TV News.
Still on security, the Nasarawa State Commander of the Nigeria Police Force has paraded 2 suspects were arrested for allegedly raping minors in the Lafia and Akwa local government areas of the state. Speaking while parading the suspects and 39 others who were arrested for committing various degrees of crimes in the state at the command's headquarters in Lafia on Friday, the Commissioner of Police Shatima Mohammed reiterated the commitment of the police command to tackle the issues of criminality across the 13 local government areas of the state. Mohammed mentioned the case of a 7-year-old girl who was raped by one Yusuf Mahmouda in the Lafia local government area of the state. He narrated that a complaint was lodged by the victim's father, Usman Mohammed, where he lamented that his daughter was raped by Mahmouda Nusa Mohammed. Another suspected rapist who was paraded by the Commissioner of Police was said to have fired a 15-year-old girl resident around Agwangia area of Gudi community in the Okonga local government area of the state. With the security situation in parts of Benue State gradually reducing and displaced farmers returning to their communities, it is expected that most of them will commence all-year farming activities particularly during this dry season. But the challenges that Benue State is not into practice of dry season farming, despite River Benue passing through its corridor within failure of previous state governments to adopt this practice as a way out to increase food production and mitigate cost of food items and other commodities in the market. Correspondent Gabriel Odia, who files in this report, takes a look at dry season farming in Benue and the challenges associated with it. The report.
Why farmlands left over the years due to insecurity and displacement of farmers are now being cleared for farming activities, some farmers have been engaging in dry season farming along the plain of River Benue to plant vegetables, pepper, okra, corn, among others, at a great cost due to cost of fertilizers, chemicals and water pumping machine to irrigate their farms. But experts say the present administration of Governor Hyacinth Thalia has earmarked 5,000 acres to commence dry season farming this February as pilot stage to support farmers free of charge.
The dry season farming in Benue is at its lowest ever. The governor thought it wise that Benue as the food basket of the nation. He has planned that this dry season, as a kind of a pilot study, our people are going to be empowered to start dry season farming. So far, 5,000 hectares have been earmarked to take off this coming February. Land so far
Those who came to farm all lamented that the cost of farm inputs like fertilizers, chemicals attributed it to the hike in farm produce in the market and called on both the federal and state governments to help subsidize farm inputs.
We are pleading to government to help us so that the price of the fertilizer will come down, with the transfer fare will come down. They are pleading to them for them to help.
About fertilizer, about fuel, about all those their things there. We are appealing to government for the fertilizer and fuel. Is the fuel and the fertilizer cost all those things? If the fuel is down or the fertilizer is down, all those things will not cost like that.
Meanwhile, with dry season farming being an all-year farming activity, it is hoped that Benue government and other state government will support farmers in their respective states to boost food production.
Not to other stories, governors under the aegis of the PDP Governors Forum have promised to resolve the lingering problems rocking the party at the national level. This was the deliberation at the PDP Governors Forum meeting in Asaba, the Delta State capital, where 8 governors as well as other state governors' representatives were in attendance. The chairman, PDP Governors Forum and Governor of Bauchi State, Bala Mohammed, said despite their challenges, they are working together in achieving the desired results.
Yes, we have problems and challenges. We are here with the National Working Committee, and we discuss extensively all our problems and challenges, some of them bordering on litigation. We have always come behind our own. Our governors are there, they can testify to it. But certainly we don't want to be prejudicial on issues because we believe in the rule of law. We are firm and we will work together. The issue of National Secretary and other issues, we have stood firm. We know that there is a subsisting court judge.
We are glad to have you back. Now, moving on with the rest of the stories, the Department of State Services grilled members of the Lagos State House of Assembly in connection to a petition reportedly written by the former Speaker of the House, Mudashiru Obasa. According to the reliable sources, more than half of the lawmakers' investigation followed Obasa's claim that his removal on January 13 over allegations of misconduct, abuse of office and financial mismanagement was illegal. In a statement, the spokesperson for the Assembly, while reacting to their invitation, said the lawmakers visited the DSS to provide insights into the situation on the removal of the ex-speaker. He confirmed that all members of the Assembly earlier detained had regained their freedom. He revealed that at the DSS office, the lawmakers reaffirmed their commitment to upholding constitutional governance following the removal of the former speaker. that the decision was made in accordance with the provisions of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Powers and Privileges Act, which empowers the State Assembly to regulate its internal proceedings without external interference. The Director General of the National Youth Service Corps, Brigadier General Yusuf Ahmed, has announced that Corps members will begin receiving a new monthly allowance of 77,000 naira starting February 2025. The NYSC DG disclosed this while speaking and found that the increment has been included in the 2025 federal government's budget and will take effect once the budget is passed. This month, January, has already ended, but once the budget is passed by next month, February, they will start receiving 77,000 naira instead of the usual 33,000 naira, he said. Ahmed emphasized the government's commitment to Corps members' welfare and security, urging them to reciprocate the gesture by serving diligently. Amid the recent executive order by the new United States administration to reassess and realign foreign aid, including a 90-day pause on development assistance, the Nigerian government has announced its commitment to mobilizing domestic resources to mitigate potential gaps arising from the policy shift. Although the U.S. government issued a waiver on Tuesday, January 28, 2025, for life-saving medicines and medical services to provide relief for a global HIV treatment program, the Director General of the National Agency for the Control of AIDS, NACA, Temitope Ilori, expressed concern that the executive order still raises funding for HIV/AIDS and tuberculosis program. While appreciating the U.S. government waiver and acknowledging potential changes to foreign aid in the near future, the Nigerian government emphasized the need for proactive measures, stressing the importance of homegrown funding solutions to address the evolving landscape. A federal high court in Lagos has remanded 13 Chinese nationals and a company, Gentle International Co. Limited, on charges of alleged impersonation, fraud and attempts to destabilize Nigeria's constitutional structure. Justice Dende Dikbeolu issued a remand order on Friday after the defendants pleaded not guilty to the charges brought against them by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. They were among the suspects arrested on 10 December 2024 at their hideout on number 7 Oyinjolayemi Street, Victoria Island, Lagos. The FCC acted on credible intelligence linking them to cybercrime and fraudulent activities. The FCC's legal team, led by Director of Legal Ansel Peters, filed charges against the defendants under Sections 18 and 27 of the cybercrimes. Following their pleas, Justice Dikbeolu scheduled trial dates for 3, 14 and 21st February 2025. He ordered the defendants to be held at correctional facilities pending trial. The two female defendants were remanded at Kirikiri Female Correctional Center, while the others were taken to Ikoyi Correctional Center. One specific defendant, Liu Senhua, was accused of facilitating identity theft by hiring Nigerian youth to impersonate foreign nationals to gain financial advantage. This act is said to have violated Section 18 of the Cybercrimes Prohibition Prevention Act 2015. The Bauchi State High Court has ordered the Serving Commissioner for Water Resources, Abdulrazak Zaki, and Commissioner of Police, Mohammed Hawal, to explain why the court should not commit them to prison for violating its orders. The presiding judge, Justice Mukhtar Abubakar, in a ruling dated January 24, 2025, who certified true copy was obtained by a correspondent on Friday, warned the jury against disobeying the court. In the suit number dated BA 1189-2023, the plaintiff accused the Commissioner of Police before the court of using policemen to arrest and intimidate against the order of the court. Abdulrazak Nur is accused of hiring Sarasuka thugs to invade the house of his ex-wife, Ikilima Manusoro, 2 months ago, despite the State High Court ruling mandating parties to remain the status quo until the final determination of the case subsisting before the Sharia court. The couple was separated when the wife was 7 months pregnant, has been contesting the custodial rights of their daughter. Abdulrazak Nur is further accused by his ex-wife of intercepting the Medina school bus on the morning evening of 20th January 2025, waylaying the driver of the Boston school nanny to forcefully abduct an 8-year-old girl, Zainab, using a covered plate number car alongside two marked security. The abduction incident that occurred within the GRA area of Bauchi left other school pupils on the bus traumatized. Now we move to the international desk for more news.
This is news from the international scene. A Russian oil refinery in the southern Volgograd region caught fire after being hit by debris from a Ukrainian drone attack. Regional Governor Andriy Bucharov confirmed the overnight attack, saying on Friday that the blaze was promptly extinguished and one injured worker was hospitalized. The attack was Ukraine's latest level in its campaign to destroy refineries, oil depot and industrial site, underpinning Russia's war efforts. Andriy Kovalenko, the head of Ukraine's Center for Countering Disinformation, described the Volgograd refinery as one of the largest in Russia. Earlier this week, Kyiv claimed to have struck and set on fire by Israeli forces in the Jenin Governorate in the occupied West Bank, bringing the total number of people killed in the area since the major assault began almost 2 weeks ago to 19. The two Palestinians were shot dead by Israeli forces late on Thursday during an Israeli army operations inside the Jenin refugee camp, according to the Palestinian Ministry of Health. The Palestinian Red Crescent Society reported that it received 3 middle-aged Palestinian women in Jenin who were wounded by shrapnel from an Israeli airstrike on a building in the refugee camp. During a visit to the refugee camp, Israel's Defense Minister Israel Katz said the assault was aimed at destroying terror infrastructure, adding that after the completion of the operation, the Israeli army will remain in the camp. The latest Israeli assault in Jenin followed the army's announcement on Thursday that one of its soldiers was killed in the occupied territory. On Tuesday, 2 Palestinian youth were killed in the same area by Israeli forces. Another 10 Palestinians were also killed in a drone strike in Ramallah on Wednesday. Earlier this month, Israeli forces launched a major offensive in the Jenin area to up the Iron Wall almost immediately after a ceasefire was declared in Gaza. Rwanda-backed rebels are closing in on the key Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo city of Bukavu, promising to continue their lightning offensive until they take the national capital. The bloody conflict in the eastern DRC took a dramatic turn this week when Kigali-backed fighters from the M23 claimed to take control of Goma in North Kivu province before advancing southwards in the direction of Bukavu, the capital of South Kivu. On Thursday, M23 fighters were reportedly within striking distance of a strategic military airport in the city of Kavumu, located about 40 kilometers north of Bukavu, according to local sources quoted by newsmen. A United Nations spokesperson warned on the same day that the organization was concerned by a credible report that the M23 was moving rapidly towards Bukavu, which has a population of 2 million. UN experts claim that the M23, one of more than 100 armed groups vying for controlling DRC's east, is backed by some 4,000 soldiers from Rwanda, which Kinshasa says it's pillaging valuable resources from the mineral-rich territory. Still on the international scene, Myanmar military has extended its state of emergency for another 6 months as it struggles to maintain its increasingly fragile grip on power, with fighting raging on multiple fronts across the country. The military-controlled National Defense and Security Council renewed the emergency rule in a meeting in the capital, Naypyidaw, on Friday, a day before the 4-year anniversary of the coup that plunged the country into chaos after a decade of tentative democracy. All members of National Defense and Security Council, including Commander-in-Chief as well as acting President, decided in unison for the extension of the state of emergency for another 6 months, according to the Section 425 of the 2008 Constitution, the statement said. Myanmar has been in turmoil since February 1, 2021, when the military seized power from the democratically elected National League for Democracy (NLD) government and arrested its hugely popular leader Aung San Suu Kyi. Justifying the coup, the military claimed without evidence that the NLD has committed widespread voter fraud in the 2020 elections that it won by a landslide 3 months earlier. Thousands of protesters have taken to the streets of Manila to demand the impeachment of Philippines Vice President Sara Duterte. Protesters in the capital held placards calling for Duterte's removal and chanted "Impeach, impeach Sara now." As they gathered on Friday morning, about 4,000 people took part in the rally. Police said with authorities deploying 7,400 riot police. A bigger rally was held earlier this month by a conservative sect that opposes the impeachment call that were made in December. Duterte faces 3 impeachment complaints over alleged misconduct and misuse of millions of dollars in government fund when she served as Education Secretary under the administration of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Legislators have yet to tackle them just days before Congress adjourns next week before the May midterm elections. House of Representatives member Percival Sendana, who backs one of the impeachment complaints, pressed his colleagues to move fast. Every day of inaction condones the impunity, the of power and the harassment that Duterte is doing to our country's leaders, he told reporters. Lastly, on the international scene, investigators in the United States have located the black boxes from the American airline jet that crashed into a U.S. Army helicopter near Washington, D.C., killing all 67 people on board. The National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, on Friday said it recovered the flight data and cockpit voice recorders from the Bombardier CRJ-700 jet that collided with the Sikorsky UH-60, a Black Hawk helicopter, over Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport. NTSB Chairman Jennifer Olmide earlier told reporters that the agency would leave no stone unturned in its investigation into the accident, the first deadly crash involving a U.S. commercial airline in more than 15 years. The announcement comes after U.S. President Donald Trump drew ire for claiming that diversity, equity, and inclusion policies DEI at the Federal Aviation Administration may have been to blame for the disaster. The crash was the first deadly incident involving a U.S. commercial airline since 2009 when Kogan Air Flight 3407 crashed into a house near Buffalo, New York, killing all 47 people on board and 1 person on the ground. And that's it from the international scene.
Coming your way next, entertainment news.
Welcome to Entertainment News on Galaxy TV. My name is Gratitude Imokwede. Here are the stories for today.
The 17th Headies Big Announcement held in Lagos, Nigeria set the stage for what promises to be an exciting edition of the prestigious Music Awards. The event unveiled key updates including the launch of the Headies Foundation, the Headies Creative Summit, and the release date for the nominees list, among other highlights. Returning to Lagos after previous editions were hosted abroad, the Headies continues to elevate the recognition of African music. Ayo Animashaun, CEO of Smooth Productions and founder of the Headies, emphasized the importance of maintaining high standards and showcasing African music talent globally.
April, 5th of April, in Lagos. That is the announcement number 1. Announcement number 2. We already have, we're working on a board, and very soon we're going to be announcing the people that got in the board of the awards. Announcement number 3. We're also going to launch the Headies Foundation. Headies Foundation, we've been running over the years, but we've not just made so much noise about it. We have clips that you can see. I will not want to run through this to take more of your time. Number 4 announcement is that we're starting Headies Creative Summit. I mean, we've done a lot in the US, and we can't just live. If we have the awards in Nigeria, we should have the Creative Summit in America or in Canada or somewhere. Nominees list will be released on 12th of February.
Prominent figures were also present to share insights. Ona Ijoma, founder of NIFS, provided a sneak peek into the forthcoming Headies Creative Summit.
And essentially what this summit is about is to look at the intersections between the music industry and the other verticals of the creative industries. Of course, you know, we have the other verticals of film, of animation, theater, and the rest of them.
While Yinka Adebayo, Executive Director, Media Reach OMD, encouraged brands to seize the innovative opportunities presented by the Headies for growth and connection.
Please, a round of applause for brands who have been on board for Headies. Please, a round of applause to appreciate them. Brands that are still sitting on the fence, I dare say that the bridge you are going to walk across, you don't build it when you are ready for the trip. You build it much earlier. My second appeal will go to the fans to support your talent. Headies is an award, and I think the only language that Headies understand is vote. Nigerians, we talk more, but we do less. It's only in Nigeria that you see people fail to vote. That will question why should Olamide win the award. My third appeal will go to the committee who have been charged with the responsibility of coordinating the votes. Please, when they cast the vote, let's make sure that the vote counts. Transparency and honesty should be your watchword. Next one will go to the artist to say, guys, life is a stage. When somebody is running, some people are sitting. You can't run it forever. Afrobeat is the one reigning right now. Bear in mind, any river that forgets its origin stands a risk of drying up and drying up fast.
During the event, notable personalities including artists, actors and comedians expressed their excitement about the upcoming edition.
The foundation to the Creative Academy, which of them are you most excited for in the big announcement?
The Creative Academy.
Why are you most excited about it?
Because the thing is that a lot of the creative industry, we do not have institutions that teach them. So we're just winging some of them, and I believe that with an institution, you can surely have a better structure foundation for people to grow their creativity, and it means that the productivity of the sector will then be much better.
That's all we have on Entertainment News. Thank you so much for watching, and keep watching Entertainment News on Galaxy TV. Enjoy.